I'm probably going to make some of you guys mad with this video, but that's okay. I don't understand why, as people, a country, a nation, human beings, whatever, why we've become so divided. I remember growing up, having differences with people and being able to talk about it or handle it without just completely shutting down. And in today's news and headlines, with Charlie Kirk, the churches, Donald Trump, all kinds of different things going on with the left, the right, all these different things, immigration. I don't get why we're so divided and why it's so one or the other. There is no in between. And I don't understand that because I've never really been into politics. I've never really followed the norm, if you will. But I've always kind of considered myself probably center leaning left. I'm open to people having their own opinions, living their own lives. Even if I disagree with it, I can still show compassion and love for it. And every time I turn on the news, I get on social media, anything like that, it's just back and forth, to the point that I was attacked on Twitter for something I said, which I don't even think was that serious. It was just an observation, and I agreed with someone, and somebody just blew up on me, basically calling me stupid, whatever. It didn't bother me, but it just showed that even having logical thoughts can be attacked. And I almost feel like I'm the bad guy because of my beliefs, and I don't feel like I've ever done that to anybody, right? Like, I don't believe in man and women, yet I've had a roommate that was gay, and he was one of my best friends, and like, I completely disagreed with his lifestyle, but I love that dude, man. Great person. I trust him. We had lots of conversations, and it opened my mind some, even though I still disagree. Like, I have a better understanding. And somewhere along the line in this time, we have lost track of differences is how people grow, right? Conversation, talking, and just learning about the other side, whatever it may be, is how you grow and open your mind to more things. And you can disagree with people and still be cordial friends, have an understanding. And I don't know, man, I hate where this country's heading because I love being an American. I love the opportunities that we have here, even though my life has been all kinds of craziness. It's all to my own fault, right? I've caused these problems to myself, and I understand that. But I'm just so tired of feeling like I can't say certain things or people will attack me or go against me. And it's just, I don't know, man. I feel so fed up with it, right? Like, the economy's bad, jobs are bad, prices are high, everything's just really bad. And now, like, you can't even speak your mind without feeling like somebody's going to attack you. And I try to keep my opinions to myself for the most part. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to feel in fear to speak about what I think. It's just crazy, man. And I've just been thinking about it a lot because every time I turn on YouTube, and that's probably my own fault for watching a lot of it, so it feeds me more of the stuff. But still, it's just all over the place, and it's just always negative, this and that, and this and that. And people don't realize that, like, it's really the rich versus the poor. And it's so crazy that everybody's back and forth, left, right, this, that. But like, meanwhile, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And I've always felt that way. I've always had a distrust for the government. I've always felt like having us split as people is more beneficial to the higher ups than it is us, because, in the Art of War, it talks about, splitting armies apart, splitting people apart. I don't know the exact quote, but it talks about, like, if you can cause internal conflict between your enemy, then that will help you win the war. And I feel very strongly about this. And I feel like people are so obsessed with these different things, like immigration. Like, okay, I think everybody does have freedoms to do what they want, live where they want, but I also think there's laws we have to abide by. I wouldn't leave my front door open for anybody to come in. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's a crazy idea of like, hey, Maybe we have some rules about letting people into the country, but I felt scared to say anything like that. I felt like I can't say that. And I know you're not really supposed to talk about politics, but like, I think immigration is great, but I also think like, just leave your front door open for anybody to walk in. And I don't think that's a crazy take. I don't think people should be attacked for that. Not to say that I know everything and I know what's going on and there could be deeper stuff. And there very much could be. I don't know. But what I do know is that whether I disagree with you, you disagree with me, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's still room for love and compassion. There's still room for talking. I hate the direction everything's heading. Like my life is the best it's ever been. And at the same time, I feel like hopeless for the future. Right. And I've spoken on here a few times, and I'm not trying to be super doom and gloom because I don't think all is lost, but also like it does suck, man. And I just want to get these thoughts out here. The world is heading for a major change, whether that's good or bad. Dare I say, is the American power falling before our eyes? I don't know. It's kind of scary, but I'm going to continue to live my life. However, there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm not going to sit around and dwell about it. It's an observation, right? We need to unite somehow, some way, even with differences of opinions, difference of thoughts, whatever it may be. We need to unite. We need to be able to have conversations with people that we don't believe in what they believe in and still be able to talk to them, still be able to figure that common ground out, right? And that common ground is like, we need prices to go down. We need jobs to go up. People need to get paid better. The American dream is crumbling before our eyes. I'm 38 years old, and I've never owned a home. Granted, the majority of my life was ruined, was doing the wrong things, but I've never owned a home. And when I was able to buy a home and I went to look, I realized like I still can't afford a home. Even when I was making great money, I still couldn't afford a home because it was going to make me house poor. It was going to make me paying way too much of my income just to own the home. And I think it's a good investment, but it's also like, man, I worked so hard to get to this level of income so I could buy a home. And then when I got there, I was like, oh, I can't afford a house. What do you mean? Groceries just going up like crazy. Everything's been a lot, and it's becoming more and more stressful. I'm more and more focused on building my wealth, getting more sources of income, and just bettering my life for me and my family. Right. And I feel like that's the real battle. That's the real fight we should be fighting together. Yet every time I get on X, every time I get on social media at all, right, it's just this back and forth. And I don't know, I'm fed up with it. It's so old. I wish it would stop. I need to like step away, quit watching it, turn it off, which I've been trying to more because I've been getting into more options trading and playing with the stock market. So I'm trying to learn that stuff on a deeper level. But I just really want to say, like, whether you agree with me or not, it's cool. We can be cool. We can find common ground. We can find a common enemy, right? We can find peace within that, right? And we can have conversation. And to see someone that I didn't really follow him, I did watch some of his stuff, but like that was what it was all about, was conversation. And people really don't like that. And it makes no sense. I don't know what fascism is. I don't know what a lot of the things people say. I don't know. But what I do know is everybody's fighting the wrong enemy. And I wish we could, get together a little bit better, right? Find some common ground, find ways to address these issues in a peaceful manner. I don't know. I love you guys. I'm out.